What is that? An edible lava lamp? It's supposed to be a rainbow glitter drink. It looks like she adds some kind of syrup at the bottom. Elderberry, I was only able to find grenadine, but mine looks a little thin, so hopefully it works out. And then she fills her cup with ice. And of course, for something aesthetic like this, you gotta use the good ice. Oh, that's satisfying. I'm gonna need like double the amount of ice. Then she adds some glitter. She's using silver, but I'm gonna go for the gold. Tell me when to stop. Now she adds in this tropical Red Bull flavor. Whoa. The grenadine mixed with this turns it into like this amazing orange color. That is so pretty already. And then she fills the next layer with like a Powerade. This doesn't look exactly the same, but hopefully it turns out just as beautiful. Oh, it's crazy. The blue kind of mixes at the bottom, but it bounces back up top. I gotta leave enough room because we have another layer of purple, which everyone in the comment asked, what is that dark purple blue on top? Turns out she's adding something called butterfly pea flower powder, also known as blue matcha. I was today years old when I learned there is such thing as blue matcha. Ooh. Wow, so pretty. Okay, let's see what happens when we add it to the cup. Float to the top. No. Now it just totally took over the middle blue part. Sad. Instead of a rainbow glitter, this reminds me of a sunset, which is also really pretty. But let's see if we can get it as glittery and magical. Oh my gosh. If this is not the most beautiful sunset color, I'm not even mad that it's not a rainbow like theirs. We created our own art. Look at the purple here and the pinks. Does it actually taste good? I don't know. It's like a tropical, fizzy, pineapple-y drink. I'm not mad at it at all. 8 out of 10. I have 6 more satisfying, over-the-top food art recipes to test. Let's see if they're as fun to make as they are to watch. So there's this restaurant in New York City called Devel that started this whole checkered toast trend where you're supposed to just layer on your cream cheese and jam on thick milk toast like a checkerboard, but they sell it for $10 to $13 per piece of toast. Someone said $10 for one piece of toast, blood tweaking. I got this whole loaf for $5.50, and we're just gonna be toasting one piece up. So while it's toasting, I have my materials. They have a popular one that's all over TikTok, berries and cream. So I've got strawberry jam and some whipped cream cheese left over from my bagel order. It looks like they're using 2 different spreaders to keep them really clean. So we're gonna go in with the cream cheese first. Don't know why, but this makes me nervous. So you lay it down and then kind of press and pull. Ooh, that was fun. The jam, mine looks kind of runny. Oh, the jam was a fail, but I feel like it's more for the color. I'm gonna go a little lighter on the cream cheese, and this is gonna take me all day. So I can see why this costs so much for them to make. They paint every stroke by hand. The jam is tricky. I feel like using thick jam would make more sense, and I just ruined it. Toast never took so long, which makes me wonder how long does it take for everyone to get their order. I almost feel like piping this would be easier. Once it starts to come together though, it looks pretty cool. Final swipe. It started well. Some people online even go as far as just smearing the whole thing afterwards, but you know what? It took me time to create this art. I'm gonna enjoy it. People in the comments seriously thought this was slime. They said, that's not slime. Thank goodness. But apparently, satisfying food art all resembles slime. Cream cheese jam toast. That'll be $12, please. 7 out of 10. Checkmate. Now we don't have just regular boba, we have jumbo boba. It's so fat, squishy, and cute. Someone said, it's not milk tea with boba, it's boba with milk tea. And he doesn't exactly show us what it is, but in the comments, everyone said it's grass jelly. Imagine if it's coffee jelly. Let's make coffee jelly. For the jelly, we're not using tapioca like they normally do for bobas. I'm gonna be using gelatin, so I'm just gonna sprinkle some gelatin over my water and let it bloom. And then just to give it more of that like chewy texture, I'm gonna mix in some cornstarch. This will give us that slight bouncy chew. So while the gelatin and slurry is doing its thing, we're gonna cook up our coffee and sugar. I already brewed my coffee, so I'm gonna pour it into the saucepan along with the sugar, and we're just gonna heat it until the sugar dissolves. Make sure you don't boil the coffee though, because it's gonna ruin the gelatin when we add it. Once the sugar's dissolved, I'm gonna add the slurry. Let it cook for 1 to 2 minutes until it's like slightly thickened, and then turn off the heat, add our bloom gelatin, and then just stir until it's fully dissolved. I could definitely relate to this comment. Oh my God, thank you for showing me how to use that ice tray. I struggle with ice trays. Okay, and then once you press down the cover, any excess coffee mixture is supposed to squirt out of the hole right here, and then you have perfectly round balls in the fridge. Oh, well that was aggressive. Now we'll stick it in the fridge for a few hours and I'll check on it later. I've heard of this breaking on people. Do it slowly. Oh, it's so cool. Let's dump them onto a plate. They're so bouncy. Oh my gosh. It's like one of those little baby bouncing balls you get at the dentist office. Okay, now I'm gonna transfer the boba balls into my cup. Oh my gosh. No! Just to make it truly my boba with the side of milk tea, I actually found this brown sugar creamer that I think would be perfect with our coffee jelly. Get that satisfying pour. I don't have a big enough boba straw for this, but my spoon will do the job. Actually though, it has the exact texture of grass jelly and then the satisfying chew and roundness of a boba, except bigger and better. I'm gonna give Jumbo Coffee Boba like straight up 10 out of 10. Be still my beating heart. This is a s'mores brownie. The way she just breaks open that gooey fudgy brownie with the fluffy marshmallows on top, I'm obsessed. So she starts off with a baking pan with already lined graham crackers in there. So let's add ours. I'm just using good old toasted honey grahams. It's also so satisfying how she has them perfectly lined up. It's perfect. And now she adds a layer of her brownie batter, except I'm not really sure what she used. So to my bowl, I'm gonna add half a cup of melted butter, some white sugar, some brown sugar, and mix them all up until it's nice and fluffy. Then we're gonna crack in 2 eggs, one at a time, add in a drizzle of vanilla extract until it's nice and glossy. Okay, now I'm gonna sift in the rest of my dry ingredients. We're gonna just place this right on top, dump in some cocoa powder, flour, baking powder, and salt. Now we just shake it all in. Someone said baking has got to be one of the most calming things ever. I can agree with that. So I'm just sifting the dry ingredients so we don't get big clumps in the batter. See? Because then sometimes you end up with these little cocoa pebbles. We'll just mix everything up and then I'm gonna pour it right on top of our graham crackers. Look at that chocolate fudgy goo. So good. So satisfying. Someone asked, is it wax or slime or something? I don't know, but they're making slime look more and more realistic these days. Let me spread it all over the graham crackers. And because the video goes so fast, it looks like she just puts the gooey marshmallow fudge right on top. But someone said, I tried this and my brownies refused to cook. It was like s'mores soup, which wouldn't be half bad, except we're trying to make brownies. I tried to make these one time and I set the whole pan of brownies and my oven on fire. So what I think she does is she bakes off the brownies first and then she puts the marshmallows on top after. Okay. The brownies are just barely cooked on the edge, but most of the center is still jiggly. So now I'm gonna spread the marshmallow cream on top, and by the looks of hers, a little bit of the brownie batter also gets mixed in, kind of like the ombre effect. If you've ever worked with this stuff before, it is sticky. This definitely gives butter slime vibes, or thick and glossy. See, that's what I did not want to happen. Don't break the brownie. Almost there. Back into the oven, and I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm gonna keep a watchful eye on it so that my oven doesn't burn. Well, the marshmallow's definitely puffed up and it has a nice toasty layer. A little smoky, but at least it didn't set my oven on fire. Satisfying. But now I have to let it cool before I cut into it, so I'm gonna work on our next recipe. Now we have this magical rainbow unicorn grilled cheese of your dreams. And by the looks of this cheese pool, I'm guessing they didn't use just regular pizza cheese. There's gotta be a mix of other stuff. So I've gotta call in all the stretchy cheeses. This one is a Oaxaca cheese that's really melty and gooey for your quesadilla.